All right, I'm glad everybody could join us today. I'm Mr. Woodard, and this is our College and Career Service workshop for this month. Remember, these workshops are recorded to watch later, and a link is available for each recording. If you missed a previous workshop or just want to watch one again, ask your instructor. They can help you find the link to the recording, or you can email me if needed, zwoodard@oftc.edu. Great. Today, we will talk about digital financial literacy. See what that's all about and learn about mistakes to avoid when managing money. We'll talk about some ideas and discuss some possibilities. First, let's look at a PowerPoint presentation about digital and financial literacy. Financial literacy, making personal choices for money management. The sooner the better. It is too bad money doesn't really grow on trees. The sooner you develop good money habits, the better off you'll be in the long run. Money is not so important for what it is, but for what it can do. Money equals the medium of exchange used to buy goods and services. Your income provides you with money to spend on whatever you choose. Most people earn income by giving their time and services to an employer and receiving money in return. Other people earn income by creating and or providing goods and services for others to purchase. They run a business as an entrepreneur. Spending definition: to use up or put out, expend, spend an hour exercising, to pay out money, to wear out, exhaust, to storm finally spend itself, to pass time in a specified manner or place, spent their vacation in Paris, to throw away, squander, spent all their resources on futile projects, to give up one's time or efforts, for example, to a cause, sacrifice, to pay out or expend money, to be exhausted or consumed. In every case, spending is defined as the sacrifice of one thing in exchange for something else. One key to good financial health: it's not how much you make, but how much you keep. Interest. Interest can work for you or against you. Savings accumulate interest for you, while credit can accumulate interest against you. People who make loans, like banks and credit card companies, make money by doing so from interest payments. Interest is a fee paid for the use of someone else's money. Live within your means. You should always strive to spend less than what you earn. If you just borrow money, you will have to pay interest on it. There's a difference between using a debit card and a credit card. A debit card withdraws money directly from your bank account. It is not a loan, and you do not pay interest on it. You must deduct the amount you spend from your checking account. A credit card allows you to purchase something without having the money in your bank account. However, you will have to pay back that money with interest. You must make a minimum payment on it every month until it is paid in full. Reserve borrowing money for large purchases such as a house, a car, or go to college. Try to avoid carrying a balance on a credit card so you don't have to pay money on that interest. People use credit to buy something now and pay for it later. When you buy something on credit, you usually need to pay the amount borrowed plus an additional amount in interest. Credit can be good or bad. It all depends on you. Good credit comes with a good reputation for being a responsible borrower, whereas bad credit comes from the opposite reputation. Being a responsible borrower means you pay your bills when they are due and you don't borrow more than you need. Information on how you handle your accounts is collected from your creditors monthly and compiled into your credit report. You are then given a credit score based on your financial behavior. There are 3 major credit bureaus that save this information, and they keep track of your credit accounts, missed payments, and late payments. This is retained in your credit file for 7 years. Banks and businesses do not want to lend money to people who may pose a risk for not paying their debts. So when you go to apply for a loan, the business or bank will require a copy of your credit report from one or more of those agencies. If you have a high credit score, you'll most likely be approved for a loan with good interest rate. If you have a poor credit score, you may only qualify for a loan with a high interest rate or be turned down for a loan completely. This can hinder you from getting a loan to buy a car, a house, or obtain a credit card. Also, a poor credit score can hurt you when you wish to rent a place to live, buy insurance, or even get a job. Remember, good credit equals a good reputation. Saving. Make your money grow. Saving money can earn you money. Earning money through savings is done when you put your money in an account like that of a bank or credit union that pays you interest. Just look how you pay interest when you borrow money. The bank pays you interest when you allow them to use your money. Saving takes discipline and patience and is often a slower way to obtain your goal, but you will pay less for what you want by saving rather than borrowing to obtain what you want faster. Saving money can earn you money. However, saving money in savings account in a bank is best for saving in emergencies because you have immediate access to your money, but the interest rates are generally not very much. Once you have an emergency fund, you should start saving your money where it will grow. You can get higher interest rates, for instance, if you purchase a certificate of deposit. When you buy a certificate, you're not allowed to touch the money for a certain period. The bank will then pay you more interest for it. Certificates of deposit, CDs, can be issued for a couple of days, a month, 6 months, a year, or even 5 to 10 years. Saving allows you to increase your holdings by investing. Investing can be done in many different ways: stocks and bonds, collectibles, real estate, natural resources, or a business, your own or someone else's. Like anything else where money is concerned, there's always some risk involved with investing. It is a gamble. You will need to choose carefully. Make a financial decision. Your task. Define a goal, short term or something you want. Make a financial plan and write your plan down step by step. I'm going to go over these fairly quickly today. Now, in this recording with your instructor, you're welcome to go back and go over these slowly, each one. And instructors, if you could, at some point, go over these and in detail have your students do an activity with these. State the cost of what you want. List your income and expenses. Subtract your expenses from your income. What you have left is your disposable income. This is the amount left after expenses are paid, which you may use to purchase wants. 3. Amount currently possessed. 4. Amount needed. 5. Plan of action to obtain amount needed, spending. 6. Credit to be used if any. 7. Plan of repayment if needed. 8. Interest paid if applicable. 9. Savings used or planned to be used. 10. Investment time and or money. 11. Budget time and money. As I said earlier, please review that outside of our workshop today. And if you have any questions or you want to follow these things in specifically, please contact me through your instructor or directly. Here are some words you should know: account, bank, compounding, debt, dollars, future, incentive, liability, penny, rate, stock, allowance, checking, credit union, deposit, economics, goal, interest, loan, prediction, retirement, treasury, asset, coins, currency, dime, FDIC, growth, investing, nickel, quarter, savings, withdrawal. I'm going to be sending out definitions for all of these. I'll also send out activities for you to go in more depth outside of this workshop today. Here's a practice budget worksheet. I'm also going to be sending this out to you so you can work with this. You'll put your name, your goal, cost, income type, 1, 2, amount monthly, expense type, amount, how many months it will take to have the amount needed for your goal. If you write a check, there are certain ways you must write a check. If you have a checking account, you will be given a checkbook with checks and a register. You may write checks to pay bills or make purchases. In the top left, your name, address, and phone number are printed here on your check by the bank. The top right, there's a number for the check. And at the top right, you write the date you are making the payments here. Do not write a future date. In the pay to the order of line, you write the name of who is getting the money here. It's $5 on this check. In the next line, you write $5 and the amount of change. Here it's 00/100, then a line, then dollars. In the 4, you write a note here for what it is. And in the bottom right line, sign here with your own unique signature. In the very bottom, those numbers at the bottom are your account number and your routing numbers that you may need at some time. Balancing a check register. Once you write a check, you must register it in your check register and subtract the amount from your balance. Now, this is a really good thing to do. However, with online checking today, it's really easy to go to your bank and look at your account, and there will be a check register that the bank generates. It is well to have your own to check against the bank, but if you do miss putting something on your check register, your online banking will have it. And then the bank will also send you a statement of all your transactions. And if you go through your check register and look at your checks, you can balance your checkbook. I'm also going to be sending this worksheet out using a check register and this worksheet on practice keeping a check register. Once again, it's good to use these, but the main thing is to check your online banking statement and go through your checkbook and make sure they kind of balance out. Okay, that was a brief overview of some aspects of financing. We're going to dive a little bit deeper into watch a video from a very, very good source, TEDx Talks, and this gentleman is going to tell us about what we've already discussed, and he's also going to explain some more in-depth financial in the digital literacy age. We're going to go this pretty quick in our 30-minute workshop today. I know I went through the previous material pretty quick with you, but I do have all the details that I'm going to be sending out to you for further review, and you can contact me at any time for more information. So let's start this video on financial literacy in the social media generation with Nelson So.
A new generation began in 1985. Leading edge babies are now in their 30s. I'm one of them, and we are the social media generation. We're unlike any generation the world has ever seen. We are educated, competitive, and high tech. But we have a massive weakness. It is our lack of financial literacy. Financial literacy is being able to understand money and how it works. How many of us understand good debt versus bad debt, compound interest, and the idea of paying ourselves first? If we don't understand money, how will we be able to buy the things we want to buy, do the things we want to do, and one day retire debt-free? As a member of the social media generation, I live in the present. We are so present that we have a hard time thinking about the future. Don't ask me what I want for dinner tomorrow. That's a future me problem. And this applies to our finances as well. Future me will deal with it. Where's this all coming from? It's coming from us. We feel the world owes us something. We feel entitled. We want our ego to be stroked. We want the good things in life, and we want them now. Instant gratification. Part of the social media generation, I grew up with smartphones and social media. My friends and I would rather send text messages and videos than meet up in person. Phone calls? Not our thing. We use social media to let others know what's happening in our lives. Hey, did you see that on my Instagram story? Is what we commonly ask our friends. And we only show the world the best of our best. We are a generation that's motivated by likes, comments, views, and shares. What other people think about us is so important. Sometimes we forget that social media also shows the best of other people's lives. And when we see what they have, we say, "Ooh, I want one of those." A few months ago, I saw a TikTok video where someone used an air fryer to make some healthy fried chicken. Come on, healthy fried chicken? How could I say no to that? I bought an air fryer. It was $100 I didn't need to spend. And when asked about this impulsive purchase, I say, TikTok made me buy it. Our lack of financial literacy is hurting our generation. Run the world? We aren't ready for that yet. The only thing we are running up right now is our credit card debt. We are incurring record levels of debt at high interest rates. Compound interest is working against us. And why are we going into debt? We're buying things we can't afford to impress people we don't even know or even care about. We are setting ourselves up for failure by not understanding how money works. We're making money decisions based on entitlement and ego. Add easy access to credit to this mix, and this is a recipe for disaster. 5 years ago, I made one of the worst financial decisions of my life. I love luxury cars. I remember seeing some breathtaking photos of luxury cars on Instagram. I had to have one. Hey, I deserve it, right? So I sold my fully functioning, paid off, practical car and upgraded to the luxury model, just like the one online. The car cost $65,000. The monthly payments were high, and the depreciation, huge. It was a terrible financial decision at the time. But my friends were impressed. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Look at how cool it is, they said. And I received a lot of likes, comments, views, and shares on social media. I was stoked, and my ego was pumped. The car salesman told me, if we increase your monthly payments from 60 to 84 months, the payments fit your budget. Awesome, I thought. It fits my budget, yes! But I didn't realize that increasing the monthly payments from 60 to 84 months almost doubled the interest that I had to pay. Dinner for the next 84 months was either instant noodles or macaroni and cheese. We need to become financially literate. We need to understand money and how it works. We need to learn how to use credit the right way. And when we do, we'll start making smarter financial choices. In just 10 years, my friends and I of the social media generation will make up 75% of the global workforce. We'll be in charge of running businesses, education and legal system, police and military forces, government, you name it, we'll be running it. But also, in just 10 years, our parents will be passing down massive amounts of wealth to us. And if we don't know how to take care of this wealth, we won't have it for very long. Becoming financially literate is non-negotiable. For the first 27 years of my life, I was not financially literate. It took me a long time to admit this. I am a CPA, a chartered professional accountant. And I incorrectly assumed that I was financially literate. I was always good with my money. I always spent less than I earned. But that didn't mean that I was financially literate. I didn't have financial goals, a budget, a retirement plan, or an emergency fund. And in my professional life, I was busy chasing job titles, promotions, and pay raises. I craved instant gratification. I demanded what I thought I deserved. And if I didn't get what I wanted, I would go find a new job. I saw my peers getting promoted through updates on LinkedIn. I had to keep up with them. And as I moved from job to job, my salary increased. This was great, but it did not improve my financial literacy. In fact, it covered it up. It allowed me to justify spending more because I earned more. One afternoon, I was working remotely, sitting at my kitchen table. I opened my Instagram app. The first picture that popped up was of my friend and his family with their new Tesla Model 3 in front of their new home. picture perfect. Man, I wanted everything in that photo. Family, new car, beautiful home. This got me thinking about my financial goals. What do I want that I currently don't have? Well, I wanted a fancy new watch. I wanted a new laptop and a new cell phone. And then I realized something. When I saw my friends posting photos of fancy new things, I wanted them too. There was only one way for me to obtain these new things. I needed more money. I just had to find a way to earn more. I thought that the easiest way to earn more money was just to get promoted. And that afternoon, I asked myself one simple question that would change my life forever. If I was offered my boss's job tomorrow, would I take it? If I was offered my boss's job tomorrow, would I take it? In my mind, the answer was an automatic yes, a promotion. Of course, I worked hard. I was entitled to it. More pay? Perfect for my ego and all of the things that I wanted to buy. But that afternoon, to my surprise, my gut reaction said no. No. Immediately, a tsunami of emotions rushed in. Happiness, sadness, confusion, fear, overwhelm. Why was I feeling this way? I broke down and I started to cry. They were tears of sadness. In that moment, I realized that I was living a lie. In that moment, I realized that I was in a vicious cycle of lifestyle creep. When I earned more, I spent more. And in that moment, I realized that material things and money owned me. I wasn't working to fulfill my purpose and passion in life. I was working at a job just for the money. And the money to pay for things, to impress people I don't even know or even care about. I was so focused on the present moment, I didn't even consider my financial future. I was a CPA and not financially literate. How ironic, right? Entitlement, ego, and a lack of financial literacy were ruining my life. Something had to change. I decided to take action. I decided to change my financial life. So I bought every personal finance book and self-help book that I could find. I read them all. I researched how to make a budget, and I put my trusty Excel skills to work. I found mentors and hired coaches to guide me. It wasn't easy, but eventually I became financially literate. Something about me felt different when I became financially literate. I felt free of entitlement, free of craving instant gratification. Over the next 5 years, I paid off my high interest debt. I doubled my savings rate. I built an emergency fund. I invested money for retirement. And in year 5, I bought a modest home. Becoming financially literate changed my life. And I felt my friends and other people change theirs too. Job titles, promotions, and pay raises no longer motivated me. I started my own business. I started fulfilling my life's purpose. Financial literacy is being able to understand money and how it works. It starts with understanding that good debt is debt used to purchase assets. Bad debt is debt used to purchase liabilities. It starts with paying ourselves first. And this means 10% of our income goes into a savings account or investment for the future. It starts with making smarter financial decisions today, regardless of what you see on social media. And this means saying yes to a staycation because your financial goals say that you want to buy a home in 5 years. We, the social media generation, are the future leaders of our world. It's so important that we understand how money works. Becoming financially literate is non-negotiable. Your future is depending on it. Our world's future is depending on it.
Okay. Do you agree with what the expert said? What about buying an expensive car? What about buying other expensive things? He had some provocative questions and topics and gave us a lot to think about. Please have a discussion in your class about anything in the video you thought interesting. Talk with your instructor, talk with your friends, talk with other people in your class. You're welcome to contact us if you have any questions about it. Please look for the supplementary materials that will be sent out in conjunction with this workshop. Also, your instructor has many other great resources available. Remember, you can contact our department anytime. Just come by or call us at 478-274-7848 or email zwoodard@oftc.edu. Okay, instructors, I will send a survey link out for the workshop to share with your students. And thanks again, everybody, for joining us today, and we'll see you all next time. Goodbye, everybody.